Yes, congratulations into your very first Australian Open semi-final. Just give us your thoughts on your performance today and how you're able to get the win.
Really happy with my performance today. I thought, from start to finish, there was a lot of momentum swings, but I thought I came out playing really well, came out serving really well, and was able to just hold on there in the second and get that break back and take it in two. So I think I showed some good mental resilience there kind of at the end, not to get frustrated. And then, just really happy with everything today.
Okay, questions, please. If you could just raise your hand. Who would like to start? Ben.
Congratulations. You had a good head-to-head against her. You hadn't played her against since she got to be a top 10 player. But how much, confidence do you have going into this matchup with that, and also just how well you've been playing, I feel like, through your first 4 rounds as well?
It definitely helps when you have a good record against somebody. I think you kind of know that you can beat them no matter the ranking. I think that always is kind of in the back of your head. But I've come close to playing her a few times. We didn't play each other in Beijing. We didn't play each other at the finals. So I was kind of interested to see what she's kind of doing differently as far as being a top player. And so I knew that was going to be kind of a challenge, but I honestly really relied on a lot of my strategy and, stuff that I've been working on with my team to really kind of pull me through there at the end. So, I think she's definitely playing better. I think, moving a bit better. Her rally tolerance seems to be a little bit higher. But, just happy with kind of me just trusting my game plan and some things that I felt like I could pick up on, and I think that kind of helped me.
Question number 5.
Congratulations. All of your semis have come after 30 years old. I'm curious, how much more appreciative of the work that it takes to get to a semi or a final than maybe you would have thought a decade ago?
Yeah, I don't know. I think I think I did a great job putting myself in good positions, but I do feel like when I look back at other quarterfinal matches that I had lost, I don't know if mentally I was really there. I think was happy that I was there, and then I think just put a little bit too much pressure on myself to get to that next kind of match. But also I think I've become a better player where I just know how to be in this position more. I think I have more tools. So when you feel like you have more in the tool shed when you're out there and things aren't going great, that is a lot of confidence right there. When you kind of feel like you're helpless, which I felt like some of the quarterfinals I lost previously, it's frustrating because you feel like you can't do anything to kind of flip the match. You're just kind of competing and hoping something changes. And in some of those matches, I just felt like I wasn't the better player. Throughout the match, and I'm just proud of myself again of how I've been able to consistently still improve. And I feel like, to be honest, the level's higher now than probably before when I was making some of those quarters. I don't think Arena was as dominant, like Rybakina maybe wasn't as dominant. Iga was kind of like when she was dominating a little bit, but now we have like all these girls, Amanda. It's a weird kind of thing to think about, but I don't know if I've worked necessarily harder. I actually think I work a little less hard and just a lot smarter, and just really honed in on how to become better.
Question here.
That's great. Congrats. You sort of touched on this on your last answer, but can you just speak for a little bit about your persistence in your career and also stability in your game? Amanda mentioned that word when she described you.
Mm-hmm. I think it's a little bit with my personality. I've always been someone that doesn't really panic. I don't really get too emotional. I don't really get too upset about things. So I think that's just kind of where the stability comes from. I think it's a little bit of maturing and kind of growing into your personality. And then I think, over the last, 4 or 5 years, really, I've been able to put that out on the court. And that's just helped my game, helped my mental game. I'm very persistent as far as always wanting to get better, always wanting to work on stuff, always feeling like I can do things that maybe people thought I couldn't, and kind of improve in those areas. So the way I think about the game, I honestly think is different than a lot of people. And I think that's my strength. So I think especially over the last couple years, I've kind of leaned into what my strengths are, and that is stability and my mental toughness and my ability to, stay calm out there on the court. And kind of just lean into that and really kind of own that. And, you have to be confident out here. You're playing against some really tough girls. So it's a little bit, I think, personality, but then learning how to kind of mesh that with my game on the court.
Pretty unruffled in the rest of your life as well?
Yeah, I don't really get too upset. And I move on from things very quickly. Like, things might get me really upset, but then I'm usually over it within a day. And I'm able to, I don't know, think very, very clearly. I've always been like that. And not that I'm trying to, like, talk myself up, but it's just my personality. Like, I don't get super anxious. I don't get super hot-headed. Yeah, it's never really been me.
Ben and Aki.
That's something actually that has ruffled a couple players. There were a couple comments last day or so from Coco and then Iga talking about the cameras at this tournament backstage and how not feeling like they have privacy. I think Coco didn't realize that she was in a camera area when she broke a racket after losing last night. I'm just wondering, for you as a player council person who's dealt with these sorts of things, like what you think about the issue of player privacy and protection and sort of safe spaces for them versus this want the tournament has for constant content and making kind of like a reality show out of the tournament.
I'm not a fan of the cameras. I saw that last night and I was like, geez, like, just, and it's the same thing when Arena lost the final. I was like, can you just let the girls have like a moment to themselves? And honestly, we started working on, we were talking about cameras years ago. I remember when Maddie Keys, her like number one priority on council was like, we have to stop with these cameras. Like, this is crazy. And I think they ended up putting up signs just to like, so people knew there were cameras. But this year it feels even worse. I mean, I see, like, I'll be in the gym and there's video of me like walking into the site. I saw people that I didn't even know like was happening in like very areas that you don't think someone's kind of watching you. It's in every single hallway. And Coco wasn't wrong when she said like the only place is the locker room, which is crazy. And you're just kind of going about your day and to feel like someone's constantly filming you. I mean, I saw online people were like zooming in on players' phones and stuff like that. Like, that's so unnecessary. And I just think it's really an invasion of privacy. I mean, we're on the court on TV. You come inside, you're on TV. I mean, literally, the only time you're not being recorded is when you're going to shower and go to the bathroom. And so I think that's something that we need to cut back on for sure. I don't think what Coco did was wrong. I don't think what Arena did was wrong. It's just people happen to be watching it. And you just feel like you're under a microscope constantly. And then people obviously post it online, and then you'd either take it out of context or judge you based on a moment that shouldn't be a moment. It should be a private moment. So I really, really am not a fan. I've had the tournament tell me to take down certain stuff because they own footage and stuff like that. And I'm like, are you serious? Like, I post something that has to be taken down, but then you can see me on every single hallway that I'm walking in and post it online. Like, it's not cool. So yeah, I think Coco was right to call it out. It's definitely not something new, especially on a council perspective. It seems to be worse here than maybe other years, so I think now it's going to definitely be talked about and highlighted again moving forward.
More than other tournaments.
It seems like it, yeah. Because I remember a few years ago, it was a conversation, and then I think they put up signs to kind of notify people, but like no one's looking at a sign that doesn't make it better. But yeah, it's a little very intrusive.
I didn't want to peek into the locker room or something, but you are well known for like hanging around other players and spending time with your colleagues. And some top players prefer to be in a bubble, like surrounding by the team staff or someone. But for you, do you prefer to be more, relaxed? And does it also come from your personality or like that?
Yeah, maybe a little bit. Sometimes you want days where you want to get in and out of the site. You don't really want to talk to anybody. You kind of want to get out. But I'm very friendly with a lot of the girls on tour and the guys on tour. And we see each other a lot. So I would just say I'm always very cordial. Like at the end of the day, we're all working together at the same place, going to work, if you want to call it, together, playing, practicing, training. And so I just always feel like it makes a much better atmosphere when you're just cordial about things and, saying, hey, how are you? Good morning. Good job yesterday if you saw him play, stuff like that. I definitely, have quite a few friends on tour, especially the American girls. And I think it's really helped me enjoy traveling a lot more. Traveling, I think, is something that's hard on all of us. And being away from home is really tough. So I feel like when you can have a group of people that you can do stuff with and talk to and just be yourself with is really helpful traveling. I think that's something that's helped a lot over the last few years, is kind of getting a core group of people that you can relate to and talk to. I don't travel with a big team either. Usually it's maybe 3-4 people max. I mean, here it's just my coach and hitting partner. And I always think I do better kind of in small groups. So why I like to keep my focus and hang with my team. At the same time, I think I'm laid back and I'm cordial and I'm just try to be friendly to most of the people that we see every day.
Yep, go ahead.
Jess, you're on a wild run of success against fellow Americans, and there's a bunch of you that are vying for that top spot, and a lot of you in the top 10 in that post-Serena era. Is that some bragging rights on the line, or is it just something that fuels you to...
Who has the best record against Americans? Me?
Last 15.
Yeah. I mean, I'll take it. I'll take those bragging rights. I mean, I think, I guess it's something I pride myself a little bit on. I think, especially against some of the younger girls, like, it's kind of like a, hey, like, you're not quite there yet, maybe a little nod to that. But yeah, I don't really know why my record is so good against Americans, but I think now that I've been asked a few times, I mean, yeah, I definitely would rather have that record than not.
Last year at this time, the group chat was all like, Maddie's going to win this. What does the group chat look like now?
Well, did you see when Jenny said I was going to win Wimbledon and I lost first round? So I better not get any of those texts is all I'm saying. I was like, when Jenny told me that one and I lost first round, I was like, don't you ever say that again. So you'd have to ask them after the tournament's over. But yeah, I don't want to see any of those texts anymore.
Just last question too then, I guess. In terms of what you were saying before about the cameras, and how do you get TA or Tennis Australia or whoever it is to be responsive if this has been an issue for, I think they first started doing the hallway cameras in like 2019, so it's not a new thing. How do you get them to listen? And then since no one's asked, I want to ask about Rybakina playing her next and thoughts on
Yeah,
that.
I mean, the camera situation, I'm not really sure. I guess this kind of goes back to a lot of the Grand Slam stuff. Having a line of communication with them would be fantastic. We don't really have that right now. So again, this would be maybe an issue where we'd be like, hey, like, nobody wants these cameras. It's really invasive. It's intrusive. I'm all for growing a slam and you want content for fans, but at some point it's a little too much. So, I mean, I think that's where maybe that kind of comes into play. Like I said, as Coco kind of mentioned it and touched on it yesterday, I think that'll definitely get more eyes on it, and hopefully they can pull back some of that stuff. But, we won't know till next year, or maybe if they, decide to respond and have a more open communication with us. And as far as Rybakina, I just, played her in Riyadh. She was playing really good tennis, obviously won the event. It's going to be really tough. I mean, anyone that serves like she does, she's always going to be in the match, and not just serve, but return and from the ground. It's not like she can only serve. I mean, she has a pretty well-rounded all-around power game. So I'm going to kind of look at some stuff I did in Riyadh and see if I can change some stuff. But yeah, it doesn't get any easier from here on out. Like we had a really close match in Saudi. So I'm going to have to kind of look at that and see, some things that I can do different. And she looks like she played a really clean match today. I was watching a little bit. So yeah, another big hitter. There's not a lack of those on the tour these days.
All right, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Arrow, arrow.